Everybody. My name is Ryan Jones, and this is going to be a quick introduction video to Math 0300, Algebraic Literacy. So in this video, I'm going to do a tour here of our homepage on MyCourses, and with that, kind of talk about the course itself and important details about it. Let's go ahead and jump right in. We're right here on the homepage. You can see all this. I am viewing as a student instead of as an instructor, so some things we might not be able to look at. I might have to switch back and forth. We'll keep that in mind. Here in the student view, though, you can see there are currently no announcements. Of course, those will be posted by me. Anything important, I'll post there. You should be checking those often. I'll post announcements regularly, so keep an eye out for those. And those will just be right on our homepage. If we go in, we're just going to basically go through this top bar here. We're going to start on content. That is by far the most important of all of our tabs. And right here, we have table of contents. This is kind of showing everything. On this left pane, you can see everything organized exactly how you would want. Let's click on Welcome Start here and kind of see what this looks like. If you click here, you have a nice welcome message from me explaining some things about the course, a little bio about myself if you're interested, tips for success, just things that could help you, get the basics of the course down and just a good place to start. We can keep going down. You can see our course schedule and our course syllabus. There's how to, which is just some quick videos from a colleague of mine that explain how to do various things. MyLab Math, I'm going to explain this in a second. This is kind of the homepage for our homework. There's a lot of stuff here. I'll come back to this, though. What I want to do is I want to come back here to the course schedule and just look at this just to get a brief overview of what our course schedule looks like. You can see it's actually fairly repetitive. We have a handful of sections every week that we'll cover out of our online textbook. And one thing to note is that our week will start typically on Tuesdays and end, again, typically on Mondays, with Thursday/Friday kind of being important midweek due dates. So there will be a handful of things here. You can see MML. This is that My Math Lab I was referring to. Like I said, we'll dive a little bit deeper into what that means. There are also discussions within MyCourses that we'll have to do. If you've taken an online class before, you should be familiar with those, but I will talk about those later in this video. But you can see all these weekly due dates. Highlighted in orange are when our exams are. We'll have 3 exams, 2 midterms, and a final. And this is our weekly schedule. Again, this is fairly repetitive. It's kind of the same idea every week. I've tried to organize the course so that you can understand that schedule and kind of just flow right through it week to week. So course schedule right there, important stuff. Let's go back to table of contents here. Right here on this left pane, you can see the bulk of these modules here are all of our weeks. I think I might be able to show all 10 of them. You can see, boom, weeks 1 through 10. You can click on these, you can look at these, and you can see what's happening each and every week. So each week we have a brief overview of the sections that are covered. We have a list of assignments and things that you're supposed to do with due dates. And then below that, you can't click on these yet, or I can't click on these yet because this week hasn't started, but you'll be able to see these once the week opens, and you can click on these things, and that's what you're supposed to do for the week. What I want to do is I want to actually switch to viewing as an instructor so that we can see one of these other weeks. Bear with me while I go back. You'll see this looks a little bit different for me. We can click on something like week 5, for example. And you can see here, because I'm viewing as an instructor, I can access all of these. If you were viewing as a student, you wouldn't have access on these until October 24th. But you can see here there's links to a lot of stuff. Some lecture videos. These are supplemental lecture videos that kind of are optional, but definitely recommended. There's a link to your homework assignments that you have to do. And then you can see our discussion right there at the bottom every single week. So for example, on this week, we have a discussion post on factoring. You can see these prompts right here. Usually these discussions have something to do with watching a video or reading an article, something along those lines, and just making some comments about what you think. In addition to replying to another student's post, talking with them and having a conversation about what they think. So discussion posts are there. Again, I'll talk a little bit more about those in detail later in the video. But you can see this weekly module is nice and well organized. It shows you what we're doing this week, what you have to do this week, when the things are due, and then nice links to everything that you have to do. So that should be fairly straightforward. There's some other little resources here. I'm not going to go ahead and click on these. Need math help and extra resources. Those are fairly self-explanatory. I'll let you explore those on your own. So if we come back up, we've kind of got this overview of these weekly modules. I'm just going to keep going through and clicking on these things up here at the top. And the fun thing is there's not going to be much here. Under assignments, you'll see that I have 3 folders for your handwritten work for our exams. Our exams will take place in MyMathLab, which again, I have not shown yet in this video, but I'm about to, so bear with me there. But you will take photos of your handwritten work for those exams and upload them into a PDF into these folders. And that's it as far as quote-unquote assignments go. I say quote-unquote because these are what MyCourses might call assignments. That is different than this aforementioned MyMathLab that I keep referring to, which we'll get to. If I keep going, I'll hit discussions here. This is where we'll be able to see the bulk of our discussion posts that are weekly for the most part. And this is a nice overview. You can see 2 of these here. I have nice outlined due dates, post by Thursday, reply by Monday. For example, our first week, post by Friday, reply by Monday. And there's prompts for you to go through. Read this article, do this task, make a post with your thoughts, reply to another student's post with your thoughts. And this just keeps going. We have all of these week by week. And these, again, you can access them here at the top by clicking on discussions, or they're just within those weekly modules that we saw back in content. So both places totally fine to access discussions. If we could keep going across, we click on quizzes. There's nothing here. Don't even worry about it. Grades I won't click on. That shows everybody and all their names and grades and whatnot, which of course at the time of this video we don't have any, but that's where you'll view your own grades. Class list here. We can see class stuff right there. Boom. More tools and resources, not super important. I'll let you explore that if you want to. Let's come back here to content. I've mentioned several times now in this video about this MyMathLab. Let's actually dive in and take a look at what this is. If you click here in any of these weekly modules, I have MyLab Math, all assignments. You'll notice the name is a little bit back and forth. The reason for that is that they kind of changed their name. So it used to be called MyMathLab. Now it's called MyLab Math. I kind of call it both depending on what comes to mind first, so you'll hear both. But if we click on this link right here, you will get transported to this other tab that I already have open. And this is MyMathLab. It shows a nice calendar of due dates. It shows the current assignments that are open and when they are due for you. And you can click on these and you can work through them. And these all have due dates. You have to check this regularly, weekly. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the instructor home so that we can get a nice, better overview of these assignments and kind of what they look like. So the nice thing is that all of your homework assignments, everything you're supposed to do, is tucked right into this MyMathLab. The problem with that is that it makes it look like there's a lot. This isn't a crazy amount of work, but this is everything that we have to do here, other than the discussion post, which we already talked about. You can see for each section, there's a video assignment and a homework assignment. And then at the end of the week, there's a quiz covering all of those sections. These video assignments are kind of like half lectures, half interaction with you. You could almost call them interactive lectures. These are obviously assignments, so they're required, but they're very helpful for you in understanding the material, that you can do all that before you actually do the homework assignment. And this homework assignment just is it's testing you, not obviously in test format, but it's checking to make sure you understand everything and going on with that. I will mention again, back in that content section, we saw an example in one of those weeks that had some supplemental lecture videos. Those are designed to aid these video assignments. So I highly recommend watching those because they will help you get a better grasp on that material for the week. So definitely take a look at those. Weekly quizzes at the end. You can see there's one for week 1 there. There's another one for week 2 down here. And video assignments for every single section that we have. If we look at these due dates, you might be able to stare at this for a little bit and look at a pattern, but let's kind of point it out. Let's take this week 2, for example, which is these items 10 through 18 here on this left side. All of these items will open up on October 3rd, which is the beginning of week 2. And you'll notice there's 2 due dates for all of these, the 5th and the 9th. And further, you'll notice that all of the video assignments are due on the 5th, and all of the homework assignments, as well as the quiz, are due on the 9th. This kind of goes in line with what I had mentioned earlier in the video, that we'll have a midweek due date that is typically on a Thursday or a Friday. I think if I remember correctly, most of them are on Thursdays. This is to get you to not delay, not procrastinate. It's also helpful from a learning perspective to access math and practice it multiple times throughout a week instead of trying to do all of it on one day. So you'll see this over and over. I mean, if I just even scroll down randomly in here, you can see, hey, all of these assignments that I'm highlighting over 10/17, October 17th, and there's 2 due dates, the 19th and the 23rd, right? So that's kind of that midweek due date and the end of the week due date, typically Thursdays and Mondays. So this is my math lab, aka My Lab Math, and this is where you will do all of your assignments. Back here in this content, when you click on this, it should take you right in there and you shouldn't have any issues. If you do, don't hesitate to email me. Which brings me to one of my last points here, that I massively prefer communication via my email. Let's do this. I'll type it right up here in this little search bar just so we can see it on the video. ryan.jones@frontrange.edu. That is my email. It's just my name with a dot in the middle. I massively prefer that. I check my email far more often than I do MyCourses internal messaging. So if you want to get a hold of me quickly, please send me an email there. And don't hesitate to ask questions and ask to meet with me. One thing that I've always struggled with as an online teacher is getting my students to realize and understand that I am a teacher just like if this were an in-person class. So you are allowed to ask for help. You are encouraged to reach out to me, and I will help you and I will meet with you if you would like so. So yeah, that's most of everything. I did realize that I didn't really talk about exams here. Our exams are within my math lab. If I go ahead and click back here, you might have seen it earlier. You can see exam 1 right here under test category. You'll have the whole week to do it. I will mention that for our midterms, these exams come at the during the week that we also have assignments for. That's just due to the nature that this is a 10-week course. Things are scrunched down. We kind of have to lump everything together. So our exams are in the midst of a week where we also have homework assignments. So kind of no breaks. I apologize for that, but like I said, that's the nature of a 10-week course. So in quick recap, my math lab that I'm scrolling through here has all of your assignments, your exams, Back here in the content, you can see a recap, an overview, not a recap, an overview of all the weeks. There's some extra lecture videos that I highly recommend you watch. Discussion topics are posted right here. You'll do those weekly as well. That's pretty much it. You can check out the schedule and the syllabus. You can check out my welcome message here for more details. If you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Again, you can email me at this email right there, typed in there. Awesome. Thanks for watching this video. I'm excited for another semester, and have a good day.